Well, hello there, guys and gals of YouTube world. Welcome to Mazske Finance. Hopefully, you're doing outstanding. Today is Saturday, November the 17th, year 2022. I was thinking about giving this talk outside of my dock under the tiki hut because it's about 79 degrees outside. We're getting into the time period where here in South Florida, perfect weather, more or less, as long as no tropical storm comes in. And I find it funny, y'all. So many people up north like, oh, I don't want to move to Florida. It's too hot and humid. Yeah, where I'm at, 2 months, roughly, July and August. That's the hottest and most humid. And I always reply to these folks, what about in the wintertime? What do you do? Well, it's cold outside. I stay inside. I watch football, etc., etc., etc. And I've always said, well, if it was unbearably hot and humid on those 2 months in the summertime, I would stay inside in the air conditioning, but I don't have to. I go out and go swimming. I sit on my dock. There's always a breeze blowing. It's not that bad. So anyway, but since the channel is so small, if y'all move to Florida, it won't make a difference in the population. Nationwide, most people are like, oh, Florida's too hot and humid. It looks like Orlando, traffic jam, blah, 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 etc., etc. But anyway, I'm going to share with you some real numbers projected out. This is what I do. I sit down a lot and write down current numbers and I look ahead. Many times I'm just looking towards the next month, like we're in late September, maybe I'm looking at October. What's my rent income going to be projected? What's my oil, my mineral rights, etc.? What's going to be? I know what my pension is, okay? It's not that much. But then I have a couple other things going on. I mentioned this in a video the other day, okay? I do have a federal tax refund that should be coming in sometime. I don't know I think I can check online. I need to do that. I don't know what the time period will be. My tax return has been submitted a week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and I'm getting a refund back. So that'll be coming in. I also have a house in Chicago that I'm in the process of refinancing. We were supposed to close by, well, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but by yesterday. And then yesterday afternoon, I get an email in from the underwriter basically saying they need some more documents. So I have to get with my attorney. Hopefully I'll get it by Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully we'll close at some point. We shall see. But whenever we close, as long as the interest rate does not expire where it goes up, I should, because if that happens, I may not get any cash back because everything will be higher. But if not, I should get approximately $13,000 back. Okay? I have two other houses that I pay cash for. That one is done, one's rented. The other one is very close to being done. I don't know if there's a prospective tenant yet, but forecasting ahead the next 2 to 3 months, both houses, they're almost basically, I think it's completed actually, in trust and LLCs. I just don't have the paperwork yet. But once they're like that, I can refinance them. And let's just say worst case scenario, the minimum refinance is 50 grand. So let's just say worst case, I get 50 grand. There's always a possibility, interest rates keep going up because I think they will, that maybe I don't refinance them. I just keep maximum cash flow. But let's just say I do refinance them. And I get 50K for each one, the minimum. Because the more I pull out, the larger my mortgage is. And I don't want to risk losing too much cash flow. So if I do get those four things, the money back on 3 houses and the tax refund, a week or two ago I would say, oh, it's a given that all these will happen. Now, time keeps passing. I just don't know if I'll get all 4. I may get 3 out of 4. I may get 2 out of 4. I may get 1 out of 4. We shall see. All right, I should also be getting a little chunk of money from the old drilling company. They took on more investors than they said they were originally planning for. And so they got a little surplus of funds, and they're supposed to be refunding it to the original investors to make up for the dilution in the fund because now there's more investors. So I should be getting a little chunk of money maybe in October, November. I'm not exactly sure when. What else? Okay, so we got that. If all that works out, here's what my plan is. Here's my real numbers. All right. Combined, well, before I get to that, let me throw out some other numbers to you. Where did I write it down at? Okay, here we go. I have 4 empty houses right now that are not paying rent. They're all All four were getting rehabbed. I actually have 5 right now not paying rent. I actually have a brand new house in Chicago, the one I might in Gary, the one I might refinance. We just got a brand new tenant in 2 months ago at $12.50 in rent. They're already messing up. The paperwork's been filed. We're going to get them out. Okay, they're probably going to be evicted. If they don't move out on their own, they will be evicted. All right. So, but I'm not counting that one. All right. So the 4 on these calculations, on the 4 empty houses that are all being rehabbed, one house, the tenant did move in a week or so ago. All right. So I will be getting rent maybe this month, or by next month I'll be getting something. All right, it'll be coming soon. A second house that was empty, a tenant has paid the deposit. They have been approved. They will be moving in at some point. I don't have a date when they're moving in. I will assume, we'll just say October 1st. So maybe I'll be getting the money October, or by November I'll be getting some. The third house is one that the tenant moved out. It's been renovated. The rent has been increased. The last house, the rent was increased also. That the tenant did sign the paperwork and put the deposit down. All right. So the third house then has been renovated. I know what's being advertised at. I've seen the pictures of the house. It looks very good. So odds are they'll get that rent. And the fourth house is my second Chicago house, which is almost done. I have no idea what the rent will be. I have no idea who the tenant will be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I will assume on that house, I'm getting the minimum $250 a month positive cash flow. I'm just going to assume that. Hopefully it's going to be more. We shall find out. The other 3 houses, the first one that the tenant is already living in there, my positive cash flow, real numbers, $490 a month. The second house that the tenant put the deposit down, real numbers, my positive cash flow. When I say positive cash flow, that's paying the mortgage, the principal and interest of the mortgage, taxes, insurance, holding out 19 to 20% for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. And with that being said, if these houses were just renovated, I shouldn't be spending that money to rehab them anytime again soon. All right. And then paying my property manager. That property manager charges me 8%. So paying that property manager. All right. And then Chicago, I got to pay the water bill. And I know what the water bill is on that one. So I counted that. So then on that third house, if it rents at what is advertised, I think I use that rent. I might have dropped to $50 just in case it got bumped down. But that one, positive cash flow, is $559. So if you add all that up, 4 houses, $490, $504, $559, $250, it's a little chunk of money. All right. Then I have mineral rights acreage that has not paid out yet. I've held mineral rights acres now for almost 2 years, so I know how it all works out. I have a total of 5 positions that I've already bought, I already own, that will start paying out. One of them is projected to pay out November, December timeframe. Another one, December, January, February, somewhere in there. And then we got February, then March, and then I think May for the last one. I just put M down. I think it's one in March, one in May. Okay. And I just assumed that each one will give me by next June, by next summer, $250 a month. All right. My experience with mineral rights is sometimes they start off slow at $50, $60, $70 a month. They may do that for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Around there. It may go up to 80, 90, 110. But then on the flip side, sometimes they do $50 the first month and $1,600 or $1,800 the second month. And then it might pull back to $1,200. Then it might pull back to $1,100, then $1,000. You know, something like that. And I haven't held them long enough to see how it'll play out. My assumption will be it's going to drop some from there. Okay. And not all of them will spike that high. It all depends. But then 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now, another well may be drilled in any one of my portfolios that might spike it up again. And then more wells, because more wells are planned to be drilled. But until it happens, I'm not counting this. Okay. All I'm counting on these 5 portfolios is $250 a month. All right. So then I also projected out if what I mentioned before, my tax refund and the 3 refinances, if they all come through, all 3 of them, if they all come through, here's my plan. I hope to buy, and if they don't all come through, there'll be some variation on this. I hope to purchase 3 different mineral rights packages, portfolios, a single acre and 3, just a single acre. That's my plan. As the rest of the year plays out, so like October, November, December, okay? And I'm just assuming they will be roughly 15,000-ish. That's 45K-ish, okay? You have seen my pool in prior videos. If not, just scroll back. You'll find me sitting on the pool sometime where I show it. I'm getting estimates to renovate that pool. I'm telling every company, because I don't know which one I'll go with yet. I got an idea of which one I'm leaning towards. But I'm telling each one that I'm not, even if they can do it before, I don't want to do the work until probably January-ish, February-ish to start on, because I want to make sure all 4 of those things take place, because I need that funding. As 2 take place, that's good. If one of those other 2 bigger houses, 50K each, takes place, that's even better. And if the last one, if that takes place, this will play out like this, okay? Because all 4 of those things, between now and the end of the year, they all should have happened or be happening, okay? So I would buy those 3 positions, and that'll more than likely play out over the next 3 months, all right? Then I would also, January, February, March, somewhere in there, renovate that pool out there, all right? I'll show it to you again in some future video what it looks like now. Because if this does happen, I'll show you periodically some of the progress. But we need to resurface the pool. All right, resurface it. I'm getting estimates on that. I got my first estimate in. I know ballpark on another one. I got another guy, 1 or 2 more guys coming next week. I'm gonna resurface the pool, like the entire floor. That may involve, and I suspect it will involve, what's that word? Not demolishing, there's another word for it, the current surface, because I can feel kind of like it's hollow underneath. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have to get it all out. So that's going to cost a little bit more. So a new surface will bond better and seal better. And there's one company I'm leaning towards, they give a lifetime warranty. Most pool resurfaces in where I'm at, if it's a normal plaster that they use, they will say it could be anywhere from 7 to 10 years it'll last, and then you'll need to look at replacing it, because they're open 12 months out of the year, and the sun's shining and rain and everything, so they wear out. Up north, people usually use pool liners and then they cover them up, so periodically they replace the liners. I don't know how frequently they do. Here you resurface them. All right, the one company I'm looking at says as long as you maintain it, don't damage it somehow, they give a lifetime warranty. They said if I live another, they didn't say these terms, but if I live another 25, 30 years, if the only time I would change it would be if I got bored with it and wanted to change the color, which I don't see that happening. I don't think I'd be in this house that many more years, but we'll see. But then also on the top of as the surface goes up the wall towards the top, the water line is called waterline tile. There's tile there. It's old and faded, but it's not bad, it's functional. But I would change that tile, and that would be freshened up. It'd be a prettier tile. Then the coping on the top edge, it's like a bullnose brick that goes around the pool. That'll all be replaced. And that could cost a chunk of money. The other thing I'm debating is the pool deck. There's different options. It's a concrete deck right now. I could put concrete pavers on top of that deck. I could put, travertine pavers on top of that deck. Concrete pavers are quicker to get. They're made locally. They can be made in a variety of colors and whatnot. Travertine is stone. It comes out of Turkey. It's shinier, prettier, more expensive. So the concrete pavers are cheaper. Okay. Third option, and I might do this option. I currently have a concrete deck. I could, if I can find the right contractor, because I don't have one yet, I could grind that deck down, the roughness off the top, the texture and everything. They'd skim coat the top and then stamp it. in some fashion. They can stamp it all different ways nowadays, and then paint it like a better paint that shouldn't peel. So, and that would be the cheapest route to go. Still gonna cost a chunk of money, but would be the cheapest route to go. And then at the same time, I'm gonna put a LED light in there's a pool light in there underwater that I can turn on at nighttime, shines out. And it's 20 years old. It's just a standard, whatever kind of bulb it is. I'm gonna put an LED light in there, and it'd be like 18 colors. If you're a guest, we can do different things. I'd also want to put a saltwater system on it. And what's the other thing? Saltwater system. And I'm not sure yet if I want a pool heater or put solar on my roof just for the pool. I don't know the price of the solar on the roof, but I was talking to a neighbor that has that, and he never uses his pool heater to heat his pool in the wintertime here. That he said the solar keeps it in the upper 70s, low 80s, even in the coldest time of the year. I got a video out when I swam at 69.75. Coldest I swam was 67, which would make my bones ache. So if I can keep it 10 degrees warmer, I'm game. I'll go that way if it's affordable. All right. And then the last thing, I think I'm getting everything. The last thing is the pool cage out there. They've gotten better over the years. This one's 20-ish years old. They have bronze pool cages that look better, I think. They have screens that have a tighter mesh to them to keep out these little teeny tiny bugs that get in there now. So at a minimum, we want to replace that screen, if nothing else. And the new pool cages, like say the one I have now, you've seen it in some videos if you watched them. There's the poles periodically, with screen in the middle. It's big. It's 50 feet long, I think. But the new ones, what they can do is like panoramic style, picture window style. And I think they can do 30 feet long, just all one big screen, 30 feet long. And then at each end like 10 feet, so, because it's 50 feet long on the long side. Something like that, so it's just, your visibility is wide open. So we may do something like that. The prices vary on everything. I don't have all the estimates in there. So I, for my calculations, used $45,000 to do all this. Okay? I'm not sure what I'm going to call this video yet. If it's going to be, you got to stop and smell the roses, or some real numbers looking ahead. Because what I'm doing and what I'm projecting is I like to stop and smell the roses. I don't know how long I'm going to live. I don't want to be stringent and frugal and tight all my life and then just drop over dead one day. So if I can get myself an even nicer pool and I'm still alive to use it for hopefully many, many, many years, I'll do it. All right. But if I can do all this, forecasting ahead, all the refinancing plays out, and if I get all those mineral rights and I get the 3 new ones, looking ahead to June-ish of next summer, my positive cash flow, if it was perfect, it would be one number, but it's never perfect. So I'm going to give a range. My positive cash flow could be in the range of $16,500 at the low end, and let's say $20K at the high end. Okay? Or anywhere in between. Somewhere in there. You know what my goal is, get to 25. So if I can do that, that brings us up to next summer. If everything works out by then, I think I will be in a position, if I stay in this house, I think I will be in a position where I could come close to buying a new cash producing asset. Maybe not quite every month, but I think I will be able to do it every month. Because what I'm not projecting out is my current oil and mineral rights positions. I have some mineral rights positions currently that are paying, that are still in that beginning $50, $60, $70, $80, $90 a month. All of them should go up. All of them. I have the oil drilling company that I know what they're forecasting. I know what they've been paying. They've been paying out 18, 19, 20% a month. And what they're saying is, if everything works out with them by sometime early next year, that number should really start climbing. And what it peaks at next year should make this year's number look small. That was their word. It should make it look small. So if that all happens, and I know what my pension is, my pension's not going to go up. So But I also don't know my current rental property. Odds are, between now and the end of the year, maybe another house might have a rent increase, and odds are going into next year there might be some rent increases, so my rents may go up. All right, I'm getting more and more houses that have been renovated. So as they get renovated, because I'm just finished up, I just went through 5, 6, 7 renovations. Every single rent has gone up. So hopefully there's not too many more to renovate like this all at one time. And I think I'm getting most of them that will need the big extensive ones because they cost a lot of money. So, but as they get done, rents go up. So this leads me to the final point, because I know this is now almost 21 minutes and a lot of you are tuned out by now. But if you're sticking with me, hopefully this drives home a point to you. Number one, if you can start getting rental property as time goes on, your income increases. All right, it might happen slowly. It might just be a little bit. But if it goes up $50 a month, that's $600 a year. And if it happens 4 years out of 5, that's $2,400. Right? That you just made in 4 years out of 5. I guess altogether that's the cash extra, something like that. But anyway, it goes up. Okay. If you become accredited, perhaps you want to do like I do and get some alternative investments. What that does is it just diversifies my holdings a bit. All right, because I've learned with rental property, if you got to do 6 rehabs, 7 rehabs, and you're counting on that income, it can hurt you. It can be tight. It can take all your cash. It can be tight. So you better have some other income coming in if you're living off your income. All right. So if you're looking ahead and saying, well, I need to get 20 rentals to retire. I need 25 rentals to retire. Whatever your number is, they call it your freedom number. Whatever your number is. If that's how many you need, someone's at my front door. Okay. I got cameras out there. So no matter what you need, add more to it. Because no matter who you are, you will have a point where multiple rentals are not paying rent for any given reason. You may have to evict somebody. A tenant moves out and you get turnover. Or you might have 6 tenants move out during the summer one year, and all 6 houses need an extensive rehab. And each one, maybe it's $10,000 a piece. So that's $60,000. But maybe one is $20,000. So it all adds up. It all adds up. All right. But you got to get started. Hopefully by me sharing some real numbers to you, I shared with you some rent increases, what the positive cash flow would be. All those higher positive cash flows started off probably at $250 to $300 when I first got them. They're higher now. All right. All my projections are conservative with my mineral rates and my oil. That number I gave, what was 16,000 to 20,000, 16.5 to 20K. That number could look small if everything else plays out. Or maybe I'll just be at 15,000 next summer. Came close, didn't quite get there. Oh well, I'll just keep plugging away. So anyway, that's all you gotta do. Keep plugging away. All right. Sorry about this one, it got long. So hopefully some of you watched it to the end. As always, stay safe in all you do. Enjoy life. If you're farther north than I am, or even if you're around here, getting into the fall of the year. If you're around here, you're getting into the perfect weather. If you're up north, September, October weather used to be some of my favorite weather where I was at. When I was in Maine, by October, it was getting downright chilly. So no matter where you are, stay warm. Take care. Mazke's signing out.